So, if you guys can see from the back, we are actually recording this in Google Office
In Korea.
in Korea.
We're
So,
in Seoul right now.
in YouTube Korea. So, can you see the background? Yeah.
Like that. Take a look.
And yeah, they're just helping us out a little bit because we are actually based in South Korea, and we are YouTube ambassadors for YouTube Korea. So we try to help out like smaller creators, and we try to promote YouTube. So they're just helping us out with the facility and everything.
That's right. I can just see a ton of comments. Hi guys. There's a lot of hi. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into just talking a bit. I think so. Just in general, just where Asian boss is at, and okay. So basically, why we're doing the live is probably the first question.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so obviously we're getting a lot of comments from pretty much all around the world. And look, we love you guys. We appreciate they don't obviously try to interact with you that often because we're just so in our little, we're just pretty much in our cave, working all the time. But this we're hoping this becomes like a regular thing. And if we could just get into why we're doing live, as well as why we're doing Asian Boss. And this might sound a bit dramatic, but we feel as though right now, especially in Asia and or in Korea, a lot of people are losing hope. It can get pretty depressing. A lot of people are struggling to find jobs. A lot of young people graduate from college and they can't really they can't find a job. There are just not enough opportunities. And we only came to realize how serious the issues were when we came to Korea about a year ago. And not just that, but a lot of young people are losing their dreams. A lot of people have hope and dreams, but you know, we are told that you need to be realistic about what's happening around the world. People are losing the almost like the critical thinking ability. They stop questioning things, and they pretty much do what they're told by the society, by your parents, family, and friends. And we think it's actually quite. I think it's almost reaching the crisis point. A lot of people talk about the environmental crisis, and we think that there is actually like a human capital crisis, human resource crisis. What that means is that people are not living up to their full potential. They stop questioning things and they're wasting their talent effectively. And as byproduct of that, we stop communicating. We don't talk to people that are different from us. We almost become encapsulated in our own little reality that's mostly driven by technology. And it's funny because these days we have YouTube, Facebook, this great mobile devices, but we probably don't care what's going on around the world. Like, let's say if you're a Korean person, you're probably not that interested in what's going on in America, vice versa. So what we're hoping to do as part of Asian Boss is we really want to connect the whole world. We want to encourage and empower young people, starting from Asian young people, but pretty much it's our ultimate vision that we want to get to the global youth to, start almost questioning and develop their critical thinking, show some freaking curiosity about what's going on around the world, and combine all our efforts to fight bigger battles, bigger problems, like the environment, the whole thing with fake news, the mainstream media stuff. We're pretty smart, and like as a person, we're smart, but as a people, we almost become like a bunch of sheep. We don't really do much, and so I want to take this. We want to take this opportunity to reiterate our vision, and we'll get to the questions in a bit. But we want to get to repeat. We just want to repeat our vision, what our mission is, as often as we can, and because I really believe that this is important what we are doing. So our vision is twofold. Number one, we want to encourage as many young people from Asia to speak up and tell the world their stories, what they think about everything that's going on. It could be social issues. It could be an inspiring story that needs to be told. So that's one side of the equation. We want more Asian youth to speak up, okay, and express their critical thinking ability or skills. Number two, we want to inform the rest of the world about what's going on in Asia. So, and by that I mean primarily English-speaking global audience. So you could argue that that's mostly Western people living in America, Europe, because they have this gross misrepresentation or stereotypes of what's going on in Asia. In fact, as I'm sure you guys know, Asia is Asia. When you think of Asia from the Western perspective, you don't think in terms of Japan, Korea, India, Pakistan, Vietnam, Thailand. No, it's all Asia. The same way Asians will look at Africa and it's all Africa, right? We really need to delve into this thing and then not just rely on the mainstream media to tell us what's going on, but our vision is to deliver the most authentic perspective, authentic raw perspective from the people's mouth, right? Directly from Asia to communicate what's happening to the rest of the world. So we almost see this as the most effective form of news delivery. So hopefully, if we can serve those two functions and effectively act as the bridge between the Asian culture and Western culture, we can't change. Look, we can't change everything, but we can only do to contribute. And we really wish that you guys believe in what we believe. That bunch of ordinary two ordinary persons, okay, we are at least Kay is good looking, but I don't have any special talent. We don't have any particular skill set. All we have is our message and our desire or passion to make this world a better place.
And basically, I do think that the current street interview format really works well because, you're basically listening to authentic people's voices. And not just that, we try to cover kind of two sides of the story. So when there is an issue, you get to see both sides rather than, and you can judge for yourself, what is right or wrong, or you can get informed and you can understand how the people of Japan think, people of Korea think, people of, coming up is going to be what China think, for example. Right?
Yeah, that's right. So hopefully that gives you some sense of what it is that we're trying to achieve. And look, we're still very small. We're extra surprised that this many people are commenting. Do you have an idea of how many people are watching us right now?
Oh, actually, is it? No, that's different, isn't it? Let me have a look. Oh, well, 455 people are watching right now. Great. Okay.
So I guess today's live session is more meant to be about any questions that you guys have about us.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the first one to say we're not that interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not that interesting, and I don't know why anybody would want to listen to my story.
Well, how about let's just try getting some questions. Okay, so I know you guys, some have sent some of your questions already, but basically we'll be answering questions which we think which could possibly add value to you guys. So
Yeah.
if you guys come up with questions which we can add value to the whole audience if possible, that'd be good. So let us know, and I'll just be looking at this comment
Okay.
section.
One comment that I see
Yep.
is, what are your majors? What did we major in?
Right.
What did we study pretty much? Okay, you want to go
So
first?
I originally studied architecture at Sydney, and I used to be a project manager for building all these ecological houses in Japan. And I was doing that for quite some time. And after that, I was working in the management of a modeling agency. And pretty much after that, we started doing YouTube. So that's kind of my background, in a sense.
I'm sure that some of you already know, but I used to work as a corporate lawyer. So I was a banking and finance lawyer, and I worked at this sort of like a global law firm called King and Wood Mallesons, and yeah, I that because funny thing is, I've always wanted to be a lawyer growing up. It was just one of those things that I really wanted to be. And once I got there, I realized that maybe that's not what I was particularly suited to do, because as much as I like logical reasoning and critical thinking, I just felt as though I could just make much like a bigger impact on a more wider scale. Uh, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. This what we're doing with you guys right now. Uh, we find it far. I find it far more rewarding. It doesn't even feel like work, even though we're working really hard. So I always tell people that as a lawyer, as a corporate lawyer, I used to work um, probably like 80 to 90 hours a week. And right now we're probably working longer hours. We're hardly sleeping, but to me, this doesn't feel like work. So it's good. What's my blood type? Oh my God. Such an Asian question.
Well, we're actually both O. If you watch, I think, the blood type video, maybe it shows it.
Just so you know, if you are watching this from outside, your blood type is kind of a big deal. People always want to kind of categorize you and stereotype you depending on what blood types you have. So we actually had a video on this previously. So what other blood types? There's like A, B, AB, and O. And yeah, we're type O. And also, I know we're getting some obviously Korean and Japanese questions in the respective native language. Because we're talking to the global audience, we prefer to speak in English. I can speak Korean, because obviously if I speak Korean, then pretty much 95% of people they wouldn't know what the hell is going on. So let me see if I can just answer some of the questions in English, if I see that as applicable. Yeah.
Actually, there was one question about just going back, like what about the environment. Actually, do you think it's important to learn about environmental problems? I think
Environmental problems.
Yeah, I think this is a
Absolutely.
question
Look,
we should answer.
So maybe you guys already have asked and will be asking this question, but what it is that we're passionate about? We are very, very passionate about solving big problems. One of which is an environmental issue. Now, like pretty much somebody I look up to, my role model is someone like Elon Musk, who's out there solving bigger problems. I wish I was as talented as Elon Musk, but I'm not an engineer. I'm not a scientist. There aren't there really isn't much that I can do to solve problems. So All we can do is utilize the platform that we have here to show you guys what the issue is, what the issues are, so that you guys get to make up your own mind. One of the videos that will be coming up is, I think, have we done the mask?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But one thing you will notice, especially now in spring season, is that a lot of people outside are wearing what it looks like a surgical mask, which will look weird as hell if you're, from Western culture, and always make fun of like, oh, why are all these Asian people wearing surgical
these masks.
But there's what is called, I think it's got to do with pollution. There are a lot of these yellow dusts or these particles that are very harmful, and a lot of people will argue that that's from China, and it kind of gets. But also, I think Asian countries in general have a lot of these pollution issue, and we really need to get to the bottom of this thing. So, in upcoming videos, we're hoping to raise a lot of awareness.
And I think one of the things is in terms of environment. Obviously, right now we're basically asking a lot of different perspectives and learning about how people think. But I think one of the things I would be extremely interested in, for example, is let's say the 17-year-old guy who's cleaning up the ocean, for example, and we would love to interview these type of get to know these type of people. I'm sure there's people solving these issues in Asia too, and we would love to interview these people and just actually show more awareness. And I think ultimately obviously the environmental issues is one of the biggest problems we have and challenges we have. And as Asian Boss, in the future we would be making more videos which would be geared towards helping humanity or the environment itself.
Right. So we were asked these questions many times, and that is, what drives us? And I just talked about wanting to be able to solve bigger issues. Yeah, I mean, because we really need to do that, because it's just such an important thing. If we don't do anything, people are gonna start ripping each other apart. I mean, look what's happening in America. We have this extreme partisanship, bickering, just fighting, and everyone is just becoming more and more isolated. Everyone's becoming more nationalistic. It's a serious issue, and what we are hoping to achieve is, that world is becoming smaller due to technology, but we have to expand our presence to be able to cover all these type of things. So to answer some of your questions, yes, we will be expanding to different countries. Our priority for this year is to be able to expand to China and India. And we already have some volunteers. Actually, we have a lot of volunteers from all around the world, which we are super grateful for. It's just that right now we can pay anybody because we are almost like a startup ourselves. As I said in our previous video, what we're hoping to do is really lock down our presence in Japan and Korea for the next 3 months, and then expand to China and India. And we're coming, okay? We're gonna be covering what's happening in Indonesia or Vietnam or Thailand or Cambodia, you name it. It just takes time. It takes time. And we want to expand organically. We don't want to take over and suddenly start giving you guys crappy quality content. Even though what you might see is a simple 5 to 10 minute video clip, there are a lot of we put a lot of thought process. There's a lot of thinking process involved. The way we structure questions, we try to get almost like balanced perspective, And yes, it's freaking difficult to go out there and interview people on the street, but we have to do it because it's important to get the people's opinions.
Mm.
And a lot of people don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be in front of the camera. That's why we need as many manpower as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've had occasions, like I've had an occasion in Japan. I was probably in the wrong spot for interviewing, but um,
How many times?
I had approached 38 people in a row and got rejected 38 times. And I mean, I basically don't really take things personally, but 38, 38 rejections in a
Rejections
row,
yeah.
that kind of hurts, you know. But obviously, you know, for the next time, I know that I should choose like a different location where there's different types of people. But just to let you know that even to get our interview videos out, and sometimes the questions are, you know, pretty hard hitting that people don't exactly want to answer, but I mean, those are, I think, the important ones which we need to get some answer for, right?
Okay. I think we've been just talking too much.
Okay, so
So
let's.
we're gonna shut up and yeah, let's answer some questions. Well, actually, then we're gonna be talking again. Okay.
Okay, I might have a look at some past questions. Maybe
All right.
you have a look at the now questions. Expand to Syria, please.
Please stop hitting the table, Steve. Okay. I hear you.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop hitting the table. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I just get so passionate just talking about this stuff. Just can't help it. Expand to North Korea. Well, guess what? We have more North Korean stuff coming up.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
I mean, this is a Japanese comment, but basically, Yuto says that in his university, there's not many people who are interested about what's actually happening overseas.
And I don't think that's an isolated incident. I think that it's almost like a part of a broader trend. In Japan, in Japanese society, and in Korean society, that people are just not interested in what's outside their immediate surrounding. And that's one of those problems that we're hoping to address.
And I think basically what we want you guys to have is more curiosity. Even in a recent interview of Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, like what they were asked, what is the number one factor for success, and their answer was number one is have curiosity, and the more questions you ask, the more you learn, and the deeper conversations you're gonna have, and plus, I'm sure you're gonna be able to achieve and do more things in the future too, because you care more. I think you want to do something about things because you know that there's issues.
Yeah, so we are getting a lot of requests. When are you going to expand? Okay, so there are a lot of countries: Taiwan, Hong Kong, China. Well, look, again, we'll be covering all of them in due course. Okay, all those countries. What are your views on the Asian education system? That's also another big topic. That, yeah.
Should we talk about it?
Look, it might get a little boring, but again, it's something we feel super passionate about. So don't worry. Videos on those topics are coming. Okay. Yeah, so we also feel very passionate about reunification between North and South Korea. Um, I love the how the old most of these questions is like super intellectual, and I think we are actually attracting uh, the right type of audience. So you guys are
I think this person definitely wants an answer.
okay. Okay. One thing that just occurred to us is that apparently there's a functionality where you can donate money through what is this thing called, like a super chat.
Yep.
So this person effectively donated $5 and asked, "How do you feel about the situation with North Korea?" So thanks for that question. Also appreciate the fact that you're giving us money. It's been weird.
Supporting us. Thank you.
It's been
Thank
weird,
you.
but yeah. Look, the North Korea situation, we almost get desensitized. Like one thing you'll notice about people in South Korea is that they're extremely numb. So, like, let's say if you live in America, North Korea is such a terrifying threat that you must be wondering, man, how do all these South Koreans survive on a daily basis? They must be shit scared. It's actually not like that. People are so desensitized about what's happening, and look, they know, they get it that North Korea is a poor country where people are starving to death. Unfortunately, because South Korea is already way too familiar with what's happening, they become desensitized and they stop caring. So even the North Korean video we made in the past, guess what? 95% of the traffic is all coming from outside Korea, of people absolutely being horrified and shocked as to what's happening in North Korea, when hardly any South Koreans would actually watch that video, proportionally speaking. So we think that what's happening in North Korea needs to be discussed. We will be doing a lot more North Korean content. Thankfully, we seem to have developed a certain status as a channel, as a brand, and we need to be bigger, but we're getting there. So, which hopefully will translate into us being able to secure people or interviewees more easily, so that whenever they feel like they have a story they want to share, they think of Asian Boss and they want to come on and they want to share their stories. Eventually, that's where we want to be in terms of our brand. That anything that's happening around Asia, people come to us and we give them the global. We provide them with a platform to voice their opinions and their stories in the most authentic way, in the storytelling, in a certain flow that we've mastered over the last 3 years, because we like to think that we can generate content or stories in a way that's watchable. It's not just boring. Maybe some people think it's boring, but like I personally, we have extremely short attention span. If the video is like, let's say 3 minutes or 2 minutes and it's boring, we don't want to watch it ourselves. So how do you generate topics? How do we come up with our video topics? First, we have to be interested in making that video, because if we couldn't care less about what the topic or what the video is going to be about, we're not going to do it, because we'll just get bored, right?
And I also think that a lot of people say, why do you showcase, let's say the bad side of, let's say, Japan, for example. But I think ultimately what we're trying to do is we know that there is an issue, and we want to raise awareness for this issue so that people can even think about it, to actually act upon it too. And so I think it's just important to I mean, sometimes I go through the process of, okay, like what are the issues which needs to be solved in Japan? What are the issues which need to be solved in Korea? And then start thinking of topics from there itself, right?
We actually just got another question from Minato. Well, thank you.
Why do Koreans hate blacks? Being a black surgeon in the U.S. dating a Korean woman, the way Koreans react to us is depressing.
Look, as I'm sure you know, we recently made a video about it. look, as I've been away from Korea for a long time. In fact, I've been away for 20 years. And one thing I realized when I came back to Korea, South Korea, is that um, I think this hatred, I think that's such a strong term. And I don't think the Korean people hate black people. Um, they're just ignorant. They're just not well informed enough. And guess what happens when you see someone that's different, and you're not used to seeing that type of different, almost like race growing up. And I mean, the same thing will happen. Same thing will happen anywhere. If you see somebody that's different from us, you suddenly get defensive, right? You get defensive, and you just don't want to do anything to do with that person. Countries like America or Australia or any other place, there's such a melting pot. When it comes to countries like Korea, Japan, and China, you're talking about a culture that where there's like this one race,
Yeah,
like
99%.
Korean. Like I'm always on the subway or catching bus. They got catching a bus these days. I look around, I hardly see any white people, let alone black people. So it's all just Korean people. And suddenly, when someone like me who's been living overseas for such a long time, and I look at like an American person on the street, it's like, wow, look at the white person. It's like a human nature. Like it's weird, but look, some people are obviously dicks, and they will give you a hard time. I think there are idiots in every culture. What we're hoping to do is, like, basically by making videos the way we do, we start educating people, and we help people challenge these stereotypes, in this case about black people. That being said, I have personally seen people that were discriminated against because of the color of the skin. That's not fair. But I'm hoping my faith in humanity will prevail, and that these dumbasses will, I don't know, constitute less than 1% of the population.
Yeah, and usually these people, it's because they don't even have friends, or they've never talked to the other race, and so because they're unfamiliar, that's where all this like kind of racism starts in a way, because they just don't even have friends of that particular race. Because I'm sure that once you start talking to them, you just realize that we're all human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Skin color doesn't exactly matter.
One thing also you have to realize, if you're from Western culture, is that there are so many Korean people or Japanese people who've never even been out of their country.
Yep.
They've never traveled overseas. So for them, the aha moment or the epiphany is when they go overseas and they get treated differently because they're Asian or something, right? Then you get a lot better awareness of, okay, this is why we shouldn't be treating people badly back in Korea or Japan, because if we're being brutally honest, and I don't know if this is the case in Japan, in Korea we've been told that people discriminate against, let's say, other Southeast Asian people. Southeast Asians gets discriminated a lot worse than, let's say, African Americans or white people or black people in general. It's sad, but it's true. Okay.
So
What's his name? Arnold Mendez. Thank you, Arnold Mendez.
what is your opinion of Japanese and Korean individuals about South Americans? Well, I know that there's a large Japanese population who in Brazil, because they migrated there a long time ago. Um, uh, but that's a really interesting question itself. I've never really asked Japanese people about South America, and so
My guess, I don't know about Japan, but Korean people, I can totally guess what they would be thinking, which is nothing. They just wouldn't even be familiar with, other than like, I don't know, some Mexican food. Again, it's just full of stereotypes, and people probably have no idea. I don't think. I mean, personally, me, because I've personally never been to South America, I would struggle to come up with like 10 countries, names of 10 countries in South America. That's how ignorant I am, and that's how I imagine that. In other words, in order to form an opinion about something, you need to have like a basic knowledge of what's going on. And my instinct would say that most Korean people would have no idea what's going on in South America, nor do they particularly care. And again, that's one of the things that we're hoping to work towards. Remember, connecting different cultures, so that one day, I believe that Asian kids growing up would know lots and lots of stuff about what's happening in South America and vice versa, and they all realize that wow, this whole world is like so fucking big that there are so many opportunities. I can just go there, if we can speak the language, English.
and I think, I mean, especially, look, I guess we wouldn't know about everything about each and every country in the world, but by even living in Australia for, I've been living there for about close to 20 years or so. Like, even in my primary school, there would be 26 different countries of people in the same classroom, right? And I mean, obviously, you're going to make friends with all these different types of people, and then you're going to start to understand, like, kind of where they're coming from, too. And this was since I was, a small kid, which this was happening. And I also feel that, well, actually, my mother, too, she used to go around the world a lot, and she, I think, went to 80 countries by the time she was 30. And she knew just so much about what was happening in each culture, and she could, relate to the issues there, which I thought was like pretty amazing. Yeah.
I'm guilty of not traveling enough. I think I spent my youth just always working and studying, and yeah, it's just sad. What's your dream?
How did you come up with the idea for Asian Boss?
Oh, this one's quite interesting. Go up.
Okay.
For Steve.
What, this one?
How disappointed were your parents, Korean parents, when you told them you wanted to quit practicing law to interview
Right.
people on the street?
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
First of all, let me say that I'm a bad son, and in a sense that I really don't care. I've always been pretty independent. I think I moved out when I was 22 or 23, and I try to obviously be financially independent myself. So, one of the positive effects of that is that you don't really have to listen to anybody. Actually, this is quite interesting. So let me just finish answering this question. Were they disappointed? Well, I actually told them that I quit law. Basically, by the time I told them, I already quit, and I didn't even tell them that what I was doing, because I just couldn't be bothered explaining it. Because how the hell do you explain to people that have no idea what's going on? Hey, I'm gonna be making YouTube videos by interviewing people on the street. They're like, okay, what the hell is that? So I really didn't see a lot of merit in
Mm.
just trying to explain to people. I was hoping that one day it just become self-evident. And how my dad found out is one of the viral videos that it just went one of the videos we made went viral on Facebook, and I think one of my auntie basically for, hey, isn't this Steven? And she like told my dad, as my dad's like, oh, okay, this is what you're doing.
Mm.
Until then, I didn't really explain to my dad what I was doing. Uh, and yeah, so the bottom line is I just didn't really care much. Um, and one thing I'll add to that is that another, I think, question we got was, what are your dreams and how do you go for what you want to do? You know, number one thing that I think it's probably the most critical factor in pursuing your dreams uh, is you have to be able to take care of yourself first, financially responsible. Like, personal responsibility is absolutely critical, because I've seen so many people who want to go, oh, I want to do this, that stuff. I want to quit my job and I want to travel the world, or I want to do this and that. But I need my parents to understand, and I need them to support me. Well, sorry, to me that's like a completely illogical. Why, if it's your dream, if it's your goal, you go for it, and don't try to rely on other people. So if you can't even take care of yourself financially, you have no right to talk about your dreams, right? So what I would always encourage people to do is, if you want to do something, plan it, and I don't know, like stop. I don't know, if you're working full time, then I don't know, start planning things on the side and do it while you have time, and then once that thing starts growing, maybe you, I don't know, get a part time job or something, because right now you need time. If you once you need money, you need time. Okay, so you almost like just do the balancing exercise of, this is your full time career, but this is what you want to do. But if you want to grow this, then obviously you will need the time to reduce your full time gig. So maybe go for a part time gig and stop caring what other people think of your career transition, because if they don't get it, then why should you care? Right?
Mm. Because I mean, I think a lot of like, for example, if you're like in your teens or 20s or so, I think a lot of people or a lot of parents like wouldn't understand like this digital age itself. They wouldn't understand how YouTube functions. They wouldn't understand how a lot of these things actually work itself. And if they're saying that, hey, you need like a secure job and so on, without actually knowing what's actually out there, sometimes you have to make your own choices. But that said, as Steve says, you need to be financially capable of making your own money, and then on top of that, if you're pursuing your dreams, start from the weekend. That's how Asian Boss started too, right?
Are there any questions?
That's
Actually, we're getting a lot of questions.
Yeah, there is a lot of
Yeah.
questions. It's just that it's very difficult to talk and look at the same time. Um,
Mm. Oh, okay. I think we'll come back to this point, but one of the questions is that, is there anything that the viewers can do other than watch your videos to support your work? Um, we'll probably repeat this later at a later stage, but um, there is a thing you can do. Now, we consider ourselves as a startup, because we think that the current mainstream media is broken. The model of mainstream media is broken, and we think that there is something we can do about it. So basically, we really need to grow fast. if we want to be a startup, I don't know how much you guys know about startup culture, but it's all about the growth. So right now, we're not worried about money, making money. We're just focused on growth. How can we grow as fast as we can? So if you guys haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to our channel. Number one. Number two, please spread the words. If you can, I don't know, get in touch with a local, influencers or somebody who, with whom our work, what we do, will resonate. We actually effectively need you guys to almost carry the vision that we have, because we think of this as a global movement that is needed to almost, I don't know, fight or battle what's going on, which is that, basically too many people are just like, people just fight. They just fight over each other at the political level, at the international level, at a national level. We need everybody to come together, have constructive debate and conversation to, I don't know, look out for everybody. Because ultimately, otherwise, if we don't do that, everybody will feel like that gradually there's going to be less and less opportunities. People will feel like they don't have dreams anymore that they can pursue. And, that'll result in unfortunate things like, Korea has the highest suicide rate in the world. Everybody wants to become a public servant, at a local government. That's what people want to be doing. You want to go work for big companies like Samsung, get a stable paycheck. And that's not what the world needs right now. That's not what the world needs. So we need you guys to stay in touch, spread the words, and if one day we become a media company, the only thing that's going to be driving this media company is our belief, our vision, that every content that we create will have the underlying philosophy of being, encouraging young people to engage in a constructive debate. Okay? Yeah, of course, as a business, we'll have to make money. We'll have to have our revenue model. That's fine, but what's the most important, what is most important for us is the vision. No, something happened.
Did it just cut off?
Yeah, no, the screen just disappeared.
Yeah. But is it working though? No, it's still live.
Is it live?
Yeah. It's still live. Yep. Should be okay.
Sorry guys, just having a little technical issues.
No, I think it's still okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's just keep talking. It says live. Well,
I still have 10 minutes. Let's maybe do like a rapid, quick answers.
Yep. Okay. So we do some rapid, quick answers.
Holy shit! There's so many questions, so many comments.
It's so fast. I'm
Okay.
barely reading them. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. Whoa. Okay. All right. Where?
Which? Okay. Well, this is. I guess this is such a basic question, but why is your channel called Asian Boss? Okay. I can definitely answer that one. So Asian boss, as you if you guys could it's kind of funny name, right? It's kind of memorable because I think it's a super catchy name, Asian boss. But at the same time, I appreciate that it's not the most orthodox, kind of like the most common name. Like, what the hell is Asian boss? I get it. I guess we named it Asian boss because boss doesn't have to represent boss at work. Boss to us is it's about being a leader, or so what we're hoping is that there are a lot of thought leaders or a lot of leaders to come out of Asia, but also to the rest of the young people in the world. We wish that there were a lot more bosses, right? Right now, everyone is too busy following everybody. They accept the status quo. What we need is that we need to challenge the old way of thinking and create almost like, change the world. And in order to do that, we need leaders, not followers. Okay? One thing that we felt a lot of Asian people, like there are a lot of capable Asian people, and they're very good at doing what they're told. So if you give them like a defined set of tasks, they'll do an amazing job, right? But when it comes to creating something out of nothing, that true creativity, that's lacking. But unfortunately, as leaders, that's what you have to do. So, we're not necessarily Asian bosses. I'm Asian, yeah, sure. Kay's half Asian, but we think that anybody can be Asian boss. Okay, so it's more of like an Asian boss is not a YouTube channel. It's not Kay and I. Asian boss is an idea. It's a belief that anybody can be a boss, be the boss, think like a boss, act like a boss, and shape the world in any way that you see fit. Okay, so that's almost like the idea itself.
And I think basically in Asia itself, you can see this especially in Japan or in Korea, or I'm sure this is the case in other Asian countries too. But the whole education system is kind of made that we don't like critically think. And for example, usually like in an Asian school, for example, like teachers are like above you, and you need to listen to your teachers. And that's how the system is kind of set. But the truth is, like, you need to be saying you need to be encouraged to say your own opinion there too, because otherwise there is no change. You just keep listening to, what people tell you to do. And that's, that would make, obviously a good employee. But at this stage, we need more people who can solve bigger problems, can create, bigger issues. And I mean, if you're, let's say you're a scientist who works in like a big corporation which helps do these things, like, yeah, that's great too. But ultimately, even at a personal level, I think you can do a lot of things. I think you just need to believe that in something strongly, that you're going to solve different issues, and that's how this world shapes itself.
Yeah. So just coming back to Kay's point, yeah, sure, we will make videos on topics that are uncomfortable for most people. They might even confuse our agenda as like, man, these guys are like Asian haters. They're like a complete whitewashed, they're like, and you get so many haters comments saying, Steve, he just looks Asian, but he's not even Asian, right? Like Asia, somehow we're treating it as inferior to Western culture. That is, I can assure you, that is absolutely not our intention. We need to talk about these uncomfortable issues, because unless we're talking about it, how can we solve it, right?
Yeah.
We need to talk about it. You just want to sweep everything under the rug and pretend like everything's fine? Should we just focus on promoting Korean K-pop and kimchi and everything like, oh yeah, Korea is such a great country with no problems. No, every country has issues. It just so happens that we're based in Korea and Japan, and these are the countries we're starting with. But trust me, when it comes to time to cover like Japan, I don't know, China, India, and beyond Asia, at some point, people will realize, hey, we're actually all the same. We have similar problems. We deal with similar issues. That it's not just Asia versus West or Korea versus Japan. That we all have aspirations and struggles. We're hoping to point out the commonality, but just because of our limited scale, we get, obviously mistaken as guys who are like deliberately hating on Korea and Japan for no reason. And also it happens because most Korean people, they don't speak English. So, we'll get Korean haters saying that these guys are like, they're probably some like Japanese spies that are, instructed to completely tear down the message, the image of Korea, while in Japan they're saying, man, these Korean bastards are making Japan look bad. And that's gonna get worse, right? But all we can say to you guys, our core fans, who, we're so thankful that tuned in, you guys need to believe that we're doing this for the benefit of young people, starting with in Asia to the rest of the world, that we are merely encouraging you to think. Don't believe everything you see on mainstream media. Look, I don't want to sound like some conspiracy theorist, and say, oh, look, right wing, left wing. But look, you really need to question and think for yourself. Look at what's happening, and hey, is this valid? Is this logical? Then you listen to other side of the stories, and then you make up your own damn mind, right? We're merely a vehicle towards serving that purpose, serving that mission. So hopefully you get that we're coming from the right place.
And another thing, just I think like we're not exactly materialistic or so on. We basically like we don't do this. Obviously you need money to survive and so on, but we don't really do this for the money. Like I think YouTube has just shaped us, or at least me, in a way that you can, once you have like great ideas you want to share, you can actually make a video about it, and you can have an impact and inform millions of people via this, and that's actually really inspiring. Just the other day, when I was just going out, a Japanese guy came up to me and he said, this was in Korea, he said, you guys have inspired me, that I just created my own business. I stopped my work, I created my own business, and I'm doing this and that. And I was like, wow, that's great. And that's the moment where I just feel, man, it was good doing Asian Boss, right? It was good making an impact on somebody I've never met before, but you just, there's a point where this virtual world kind of hits reality, and yeah, it just really made me happy to hear that. Right?
Are you ever concerned that this platform, YouTube, won't exist in the future?
Possible. Well, possibly.
But the seed,
yeah,
our idea won't die. We'll always have a different platform. But what we started, it's going to keep going. Hopefully one day at a much bigger scale. But yeah. Yes, we are the owners of this channel. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, we're the co-founders of the channel.
Co-founders of a startup.
Yeah. So, I guess maybe because it's hit 2:00 already, maybe we'll start kind of wrapping up a bit.
I mean, we can
talk a little bit longer.
We can chat for another.
I've seen a few questions like, how many languages do you speak? Like, I mean, this is like simple stuff. I speak Japanese and English and just a little bit of German. And right now, I'm just in Korea right now, so I'm learning some Korean, um, but it's kind of at the level of 2 or 3 words per day. So hopefully, that's going to make a change in the future. Um,
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through as many questions I can, and
Stephen can speak Korean and English.
yeah,
Yep.
just really wanna have a discussion with you guys. Um,
We're pretty fluent in both languages. So that's why, we understand what's happening in each culture, I guess. I would say I'm more Japanese than I'm English, or I'm German or Australian.
yeah, I feel much more comfortable speaking in English. I think I can be a lot more articulate in English. That being said, my Korean's not bad. Actually, I'll say it's pretty good.
Yeah. Another question we're getting a lot is how did you guys meet? So I'll just say briefly. Basically, we had a mutual friend. He was like half Japanese, half American, like a Eurasian guy like me, and I had gone to primary school together with him. But Stephen was a friend of this mutual friend, and that's how we met over 12 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago or so. Yeah. So since university days.
One comment just caught my eyes, and it's from Shannon Liu. Shannon, I think I've seen you on Instagram as well, but random. But my lecture for my international law unit showcased your video on South Korea's impeachment, and everyone was literally phoning over you guys. Look, the reason that stood out for me is that we actually get a lot of requests from college students wanting to use our videos as a source material, as a reference to write their papers. So, whether it be political classes. This is literally from all around the world. Hey, you got you have such a good insight into how a particular people from particular culture think. So can I reference your materials? And absolutely, you're more than welcome to. That's exactly the point. In fact, we're kind of flattered that they take us so seriously that we almost get branded as like a bunch of journalists. I wouldn't even know, I don't even know what the basic definition of journalism is, okay? All I care about is telling powerful, accurate, and authentic stories from a particular place. That's all I care about. So I don't know if I want to call myself a journalist. I'm not a reporter. I don't want to be a reporter. Call me a storyteller. Okay, I just want to tell as an effective story as possible.
I think this one is Yulia's been writing to us. I'll be in North Korea for 2 months. Would you be interested to get videos because I want to work with you?
Absolutely.
What do you think about it?
Absolutely.
Well,
what you can do is get in touch with us.
Yeah, maybe get in touch with us via Facebook.
Yeah.
And we'll read your message there.
Yeah.
And if you can just kind of talk about the details, that'd be good. And then let's start from there.
Guys, a lot of people have been wanting to get in touch with us. Right now, we have 2 avenues available. Okay, the screen is a little freezing. It's freezing a little bit.
Oh, no, this is fine on this end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are 2 ways that you can get in touch with us. One is by good old-fashioned email.
Actually, this kind of stopping a bit.
Email, which is askasianboss@gmail.com. Or literally go to Asian Boss Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/Asian Boss. And you send us a private message. So, for example, this question of North Korea. Look, you can get in touch with us. We read our messages, okay? Now, we sometimes get too caught up that we really can't get back to every one of you. We try, but yeah, we try, but okay. So that's probably the best way to get in touch with us.
Is this Minji?
Yeah, that's me. Sorry, somebody we know just donated money. I'm like, why? Why do you do that?
Okay, that's funny.
Okay.
Okay. uh,
Is English my first language? I think, yeah, probably by this, yeah. Probably by now, I think it's close to being my native language. But I grew up in South Korea, so I only left South Korea when I was 13. So I speak fluent Korean, but obviously I think I've been speaking English for a lot longer, so...
biggest influences, or maybe we can even answer as like
Our biggest influencers.
or maybe we can say influences, or it says influences,
Influences.
but I mean, actually, it might be interesting more to talk about influencers, because then maybe you can check out, you know, their speeches and so on. I mean, obviously, we watch a lot of presentations. Let's say from Elon Musk or Jack Ma,
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Previously, if there's a particular keynote speech that you guys should see, I would recommend Scott Harrison's speech.
Oh, yeah.
The keynote speech. It's a 45-minute presentation. Maybe I'll put it in the description box, because I think it's really worth people to watch. But basically, he has a company called Charity Water, and Charity Water helps people who can't drink clean water. They create, let's say, wells, for example, or they provide clean water to these places so that the community can actually have clean water. And he's really reinvented this whole charity space, and I really recommend you guys checking out this keynote speech. Very inspiring too.
This is a pretty good question.
Okay.
Maybe a little, probably not PG-13, but are you guys is your friendship strong enough to survive having a threesome with an Asian girl fangirl, Asian boss fangirl? Wow, that has to be the most original question I've ever gotten.
Very difficult to answer.
Okay. No, number one is questionable. Do we actually have a fangirl? I don't think we do. I think we're just like one of these like nerdy, I don't know, pseudo intellectual type thing that I'm pretty sure that we don't have any fangirls. Okay, that's number one.
Oh, there's Muddy here too. Muddy's saying hey.
Oh, okay.
From Japan. Hi, Muddy. Toru-san, ありがと
Okay. Describe your average day in 30 seconds. That's pretty good.
Okay, well, we can do that. I guess it depends on the day, but usually I mean, our process is pretty simple. Like, it's brainstorming, thinking of questions itself, actually shooting, editing, and then sometimes subtitling too, because we need to put in the English subtitles, and then the upload. So on one day we would be brainstorming and then another day we would be shooting it, and then another day it would be editing it. But sometimes it's really mixed up a bit, I guess. And I obviously am editing the Japanese videos, and Steve's editing the Korean videos, and so on.
Yeah. You mention Elon Musk quite often. What do you think of the Hyperloop?
I think it's a great idea to try.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? I mean, it's so fast. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, rather than creating the bullet train again, I think there should be like new ideas like coming out.
Yeah. Well, I should say more energy efficient
Energy efficient
solutions.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Thurston. Chris is on.
What does Chris say?
What's the strangest fan interaction you've had? I
I haven't really had any strange ones, but
you know
uh,
you would think that
oh, you know what? Probably it's not strange, but sometimes in Sydney, I used to catch the train a lot, and I used to have like 40-minute train rides, right? But sometimes people would say, "Oh, Asian boss," and I usually like to use my train time as like working time, but end up like speaking to just random people. Yeah.
um we are not very well known in South Korea or Japan. We actually, I think this is a good time to just reveal a little bit of our demographic, but we probably 95% of the traffic, especially with it like recently, is all coming from outside Korea and Japan. That's why, unfortunately, for the time being, we actually made a conscious choice to stop doing the subtitles in Korean and Japanese, and we think that's quite unfortunate to our hardcore Korean and Japanese followers, and for that we sincerely apologize. It's just that right now we have limited resources and time and capacity that we really need to focus our energy on growing the almost like an English speaking audience base.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's almost like the conscious choice we had to make. We wish that things could have been different, but if you want, you can start by contributing captions. We'll turn on the community contribution setting on so that whenever you feel like you want to contribute captions for the benefit of the people from the particular country, by all means, by all means.
Yeah, I think especially, yeah, even Korean language too. If somebody could just submit subtitles, like we would just add it on. So
Because the truth is that we need to be pumping out a lot more videos, which means that we're rather focusing on filming more and editing more. um, Unfortunately, at this point in time, we have to do all our subtitles, and it could be extremely time consuming, but we just made a choice that that's just not an
and
effective
yeah, it's
return on investment.
like it's not effective on our part, but it is. Look, if you guys, I mean, another way you can help out is community submissions, because obviously, if it's an interesting video, we want a lot of people to watch it. The only thing is, like, we just don't have the time right now, sadly. We just need to be efficient. But if somebody can help us put on the subtitles, like, please send us subtitles, and we'll just put it in the languages. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Indian content. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. And yeah.
Hello, Canada. We're getting a lot of different countries.
And
Canada.
yeah, just maybe just to put it out there. Um, uh, Basically, we are still looking for people, especially like, let's say if it's like people who can edit in Korea, for example, in Seoul, who understands like English and Korean, and they understand like they get it in a sense, or obviously people who can film from China, for example, for us. But I guess the thing is, we probably wouldn't be able to do much straight away. But obviously, we need to start accumulating, these people who are passionate about, our vision too, and we're on the same page. And for India, we're looking for like a person who takes videos, who lives, I think it was close to Mumbai. It's more a little bit up the north that we need a person like that. But
Yeah, I'm supposed to look it up.
yeah, or in Japan, in Tokyo, we're looking for people who can help us with the video camera and who can. There is a team in Japan in Tokyo right now, and they're actually filming something right now on the streets of Tokyo, and. But unfortunately, the camera person is gonna leave, and so if we could get some help with camera people for Tokyo, that'd be great because our correspondent there needs help, and if you have like a decent DSL camera and a tripod. Let me know in Japanese in Facebook. I'll definitely read it. And there's Kiara too. Definitely read it from Sweden. So we'll definitely read it. So please, if you like what we're doing and like our vision, please let us know.
Yeah. So a name for Asian Boss fandom. What should it be called? Asian Boss Army? Well, I mean, I think I prefer to keep it to Asian Bosses. Look, just because you're not Asian doesn't mean you can't be Asian boss.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Anybody can be Asian bosses.
You can take out even the Asian. It's just, just think of it as it's a brand name, but it doesn't it's not like, hey, you have to be Asian. Like, no, like we value every culture and every race, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, how old are you guys?
Let's say we're pretty old. Or actually,
I can say it. I don't mind.
I'll leave that up to you. I'll probably not say it.
I am 35. I'm 35. Yeah, some people think I'm 21 because of that what is it, that mockumentary / video that we made. Where I pretended like I was 21. I had a clear disclaimer there said, this is a freaking joke. And there you go. Yeah, we're bosses. Yeah, so we should like address you guys as like boss. Hey, what's up, boss?
Oh, Hiroko TV is saying we are filming right now. So check out, heads up to Hiroko TV.
Yeah.
Check out Hiroko TV because Hiroko has been helping out a lot too. And also the camera person today, which is the channel name is Simply Jeet. Simply Jeet. He's helping out too.
Yeah.
So please check out Hiroko TV and Simply Jeet.いや、40代ではないです。30代です。
He's a liar. Well, I'm a liar for saying I'm 35. I am 35. What am I supposed to say? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not 21, guys. I'm 35. Jesus, I've been I practiced law for 5 years, okay? And plus I gave up and we've been doing this YouTube for 3.5 plus years now. Like, do the math. How can I be 21? Unless I dropped out of school or something.
Yeah.
How did you deal with racism in Australia? To be honest, I actually didn't experience too much of a racism.
I think basically in Australia you have to go more to the countryside, and then I hear it's like worse. But
yeah. we lived in Sydney.
Yeah, especially in Sydney, people try to be. Try to be. Well,
they're just they are.
They are nice to each other. So.
Like, is the fact that I'm 35 that much of a surprise? Jesus.
No, it's international age.
Between the two of you, who's the better dancer? I'd probably say, because Kay loves go out clubbing. That this is one.
ひろこさんよろしくお願いします。 Yeah, basically, I am the type who goes out more, I guess. Like, I mean, I go out once per week, usually to a bar or so. I like socializing. That's how I almost revive, like get my, release my, have a release in a sense.
Yeah, I have to say we have such a global audience. Like, I mean, somebody from UK, Canada, Sweden, people from South America. Yeah, it's quite incredible how what we started. Um,
Are you married? No, we're not married. I am single. Yes. Just to put it out there, I am single.
just you might as well be just like looking for you look for your girlfriend right here.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so YouTube is our full-time job. We're not doing anything else other than like building our startup. So there are like a more business aspect that we need to focus on. Oh wow! Hello from Mexico, Pakistan, Philippines, Finland. Holy shit! Indonesia, California.
I'm from North Korea. Really?
What? Where? You're from? No, you can't be from North Korea. Come on, man. The Pope watches Asian Plus. That's pretty funny. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess maybe we will start kind of wrapping up
Yeah.
maybe in about
We're
5
30 minutes obviously out, but
Yeah, yeah, because we have to do another video.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, afterwards.
so look, let us know. Let us know what you think. Like, please get in touch with us via Facebook. Make sure you subscribe and follow both Facebook and YouTube. And just be in touch. Okay, just be in touch. And let us know if like doing another live is a good idea. We were thinking this more as like a one-off type thing, because we need to focus on making more content for you guys. Like I said, in the next 3 months, we need to do a lot more. We need to pump out a lot more videos, and we need to grow our subscriber base. So, like I don't know, give us suggestions how you think you can do that. We'd love to hear from you. So yeah, should we just wrap it up there?
Yeah, yeah. And
Any last words? Okay, my name in Korean is Park Hanjin. Hanjin. So, like long time ago, I used to be called Hanjin Park. But my like the name that I'm more familiar with now, that I'm known for, is Stephen Park. And Stephen is actually spelled with PH. It's not V. So it's actually Stephen Park.
that's his real name.
But a lot of people confuse Stephen with Stefan, so I don't want to be want to be called Stefan. So I kind of stick to Steve, but it's actually Stephen with PH, kind of like Stephen Colbert, right? But my Korean name is Hanjin.
Yeah. I just want to also just do a special shout out to Jordan, who's also doing a lot of helping us with the editing for Japanese stuff, and Jin, and Albert, and Sarah, who's doing amazing work from America, who's check out the Instagram account too.
Oh yes,
Real Asian Boss is the account name. Real Asian Boss. We'll just type it in. It's
check out.
Yeah.
What is it at?
Yeah, because we're leaving the Asian Boss account to Sarah in the States, and she is doing amazing work. So please, and I'm also really enjoying looking at Instagram myself.
So because we cannot, because for the time being, we need to focus on Korea and Japan and the issues that, or the news that comes out of Korea and Japan, we are using almost like Instagram or other form of social media to be able to deliver, like what's happening in Asia to you guys. So go to Instagram, Real Asian Boss, and make sure you guys follow. I also have a Twitter account. It's Asian Boss _ Steve.
And we also have both our individual Instagram accounts too, so you can check us out there. I think it's Asian Boss K, and what was your one? Asian Boss
Steve. It's the
Asian
same.
Boss Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like maybe whenever you have suggestions, YouTube is kind of hard because we really can't keep a track of all the comments. So probably the best way to ask us questions is, get in touch with by Twitter or Instagram. Give us like topic suggestions. Who runs the Asian Boss Twitter? I think we do have an official Asian Boss Twitter, but we don't really use it.
We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to figure something out. But so far, Instagram is doing okay. So we want to keep the Instagram thing going. So just, please follow. Go to Instagram and just follow.
Or if there's anybody who can take care of Chinese social media accounts, like if there are any bilingual people, Mandarin, and can speak English and know about both cultures, and can help us with Chinese social media, that'd be great too.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
你好.
Yeah. 안녕하세요.
Yeah. 你好 here.
Okay. And yes, we do love to work out because we have to work so much that I think it's important that we keep fit.
Yeah, I mean, ideally we want to hit the gym more, but we're just so occupied that we're only hitting the gym like once or twice right now per week. But exercise is important too, so really recommend, if you want to change something, do exercise. Start hitting the gym.
Okay. I think we'll probably get going.
Yeah, I think we'll have to go.
But either on Instagram or Twitter, make sure if you guys have enjoyed this live session, we'll definitely consider doing it again. We don't have it planned at the moment. We were definitely thinking of this as a one-off thing, but if you guys think that this adds enough value to you, and you think that this will help us, I don't know, be more connected with you guys, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. And depending on how this actually goes, we might have like a different thing next time. So let us know.
Okay.
All right. See you then. See you guys.
How do you turn this?
I don't know how to turn it off.
I don't even
How do you turn it off? Oh, that one.
Okay.
That one.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. This is it. See you guys.
See you guys.